Good morning and happy Wednesday, First Friends, boys and girls. Penny and Clifford here to read our third story of the week for you. Hope all of you are doing great today. Hope all of you had a good night's sleep. Let's get to our story. Clifford, over here. And I'm going to read one of your favorites today, Pete the Cat. I love Pete the Cat. Pete the Cat checks out the library. Oh, how fun, boys and girls. I love Pete the Cat. Yes, I do. Okay, let's get started. Pete's mom is taking him to the library for the very first time. The librarian gives Pete his very own library card. Cool, says Pete. The librarian smiles. Time for the tour. There we go. See the sign on the desk says information. Yes, and she gave Pete his library card, and now they're going to go on a tour of the library. The librarian takes Pete through the library. There is a big desk where people wait to check out books. Pete sees some of his friends reading at a long table. It's very peaceful and quiet. How relaxing. There's the place that you check out your books. It says checkout and returns. And then he sees some of his friends who are reading at the library. I love going to the library. The librarian takes Pete to her favorite room. There are lots of Pete-sized chairs and tables and shelves. There are books of every shape, size, and color. What do I do now? Pete asks. Good question. Now you read a book, the librarian says. Which book should I read? Asked Pete. You can read any book you like, says the librarian. Pete looks around. There are so many books. There you go. Pete-sized chairs, Pete-sized table, Pete-sized shelves. And he's asking, what do I read? And the librarian says you can read any book you like. Pete picks up a book all about airplanes and jets. He reads it and pretends he is a stunt pilot. He flies a super fast jet and does loop-the-loops and spirals high in the sky. Ooh, I love that. He reads a book about spaceships, boys and girls. Ooh, and he imagines he's flying in a spaceship. How exciting. Then Pete finds a book with dragons, wizards, and unicorns on the cover. He reads it and imagines that he is a powerful wizard using magic spells and a special wand to defend his castle against a fire-breathing dragon. Oh, wow! That's awesome, boys and girls. Look at that big old fire-breathing dragon. That is awesome. Next, Pete opens up a book about spiders and insects. He reads it and imagines that he is a scientist studying all types of critters in the wild. He has to be very still to study some critters and very fast to study others. He's reading a book on bugs, insects. He's imagining he's a scientist, boys and girls. He has to be very still, but then he also has to be very fast, chasing that butterfly. Then Pete chooses a book with all sorts of scary monsters on the cover. It is a book of fairy tales. Pete reads it and pretends that he's in a dark, spooky forest trying to outsmart a big bad wolf. Pete puts that book back on the shelf. It is too scary, boys and girls. Some books are not for everyone, boys and girls. This book was too scary for Pete. Whew, I don't blame him. I think I would have put that book back on the shelf too. Pete opens up a book about the pyramids in Egypt. He reads it and pretends that he is an explorer riding a camel across the desert and climbs to the top of a giant pyramid. Oh, boys and girls. Books can take us on so many wonderful adventures, can't they? Oh, my goodness. Next, Pete picks up a book with all sorts of robots on the cover. He reads it and imagines that he is a robot at a robot disco party. His arms and legs make whizzing sounds when he moves. When Robot Pete speaks, he says, bleep, bloop, bleep. It's at a robot dance party, boys and girls. Oh my goodness. Next, Pete picks up a book about superheroes. He reads it and makes believe that he is a superhero. He flies around the city in a colorful cape, chasing bad guys and saving the day. Oh, yes. See, there he's reading his book, and he imagines he's a superhero, saving the day. See, he captures the bad guy trying to rob the bank, boys and girls. Then Pete spots a big book about the ocean and all of its creatures. He reads it and imagines that he is a scientist in a submarine deep in the Atlantic Ocean looking for whales, squids, and sharks. Wow. Look at that. He's a scientist in the submarine in the ocean looking for squids and sharks. Ooh, boys and girls, how exciting. There are so many wonderful books to read at the library. Pete can be whatever he imagines with a book. Reading is super groovy. Yes, boys and girls, it is. You see, Pete has his library card, and Pete is saying reading is super groovy, boys and girls. You can imagine and be anything you want in a book. Yes, you can, boys and girls. I love that book, and I love Pete the Cat. And you'll need to ask your family if they can take you to the library sometime this summer. You would love it. There's so many books and so many great things to see in a library, boys and girls. I'll be anxious to hear about that if you get to go visit a library soon. Well, this is all we have for today, boys and girls. We hope you all have a great day. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Know that Miss Penny loves you all so very much. But for now, we say bye-bye.